guys, it's Laura from How to Get Your Shit Together, and yes, it is very cold here right now, but I've had so many requests for this video, so I thought it was probably about time that I sat down and filmed it. But that is a flip through of my bullet journal. This is my personal bullet journal. I also have one for blog and YouTube related stuff, so if you'd like to see me do a flip through of this one as well, leave it in the comments below and then subscribe and you won't miss that. But yes, my personal bullet journal. If you're not sure what bullet journaling is, I've written a blog post on it, and I've also filmed a review of this one, which is the official bullet journal notebook from Leuchtturm. So if after watching this flip through you're interested and you want to find out more, and you're intrigued by the idea of bullet journaling, pop down to the description box. I'll have those both linked below for you. But I'm going to show you essentially how I use it, and what you will see is that I have been using it mostly as a kind of a diary. There aren't too many tasks in here. I use an app for most of my tasks, and that is because right now I just find it's much easier for me to manage my tasks digitally. I'm a stay-at-home mother, so I need to be able to edit and move things around. That happens quite a lot. I need to be able to chop and change several times during the day, depending on how the day is going. So not too many tasks in here, but I do plan on incorporating them a little bit more into my bullet journal as time goes on. Another thing you'll notice is that it's not really decorated at all. I just use a black ballpoint pen in my bullet journal, though I did go a little bit wild one time and use a green pen to number a list, which you will see. Using more color is another thing that I plan on kind of incorporating a little bit more into the bullet journal, but for now I'm really liking the whole minimalist kind of monochromatic look. If you're looking for a heavily decorated bullet journal or planner, one with lots of bright colors and doodles and stickers and washi tape and all of that, you've come to the wrong place, I'm afraid. My bullet journal is very plain and very neat, and that is just the way I like it. So I will flip you around, I will show you each of the pages, I will tell you how I'm using it and just explain a few different things that are in here, so enjoy. So this is it. This is my bullet journal, and I just have, I'm not sure if you can really see that, hang on, there we go. A little bookmark in it that says right now, which I got from the Webster's Pages Color Crush planner. I just took it out of that and popped it in here because I have to say the bookmarks, while I initially liked having 3 of them, they do kind of annoy me. So I don't really use them too much. But let's have a look inside. So I still haven't filled these in because honestly I know what all the bullets are at this point, and I've made up a lot of my own, and I just know what they are, so I haven't bothered with this. Haven't bothered filling in the contact information yet. Probably should, but it doesn't really leave the house with me. All the tips pages. So my index is here. As you can see, there's hardly anything filled out. I really need to update it a little bit. Blank here, and this is my first spread. So September and October, a lot of things changed for me at the beginning of October, as you can see from all the white out. Really annoying, but what can you do? So what I do is, this is kind of in keeping with the original bullet journal idea, and that you write the dates and the days down the side. So I've done that. I will possibly tweak it going forward. But sometimes what I do is write in kind of appointments in it. So to visit a Montessori, other things like that. But often, if I have nothing on that day, I will go back and just fill it in with kind of the important things that happened that day. So I Conmarried the garage, Conmarried the office, things like that. The little signifiers here, the little stars that I have, are to signify either an important birthday, so a birthday of a family member, or a time when I have to leave the house, essentially. Being a stay-at-home mother, I guess I'm home a lot of the time, or I would just bring my daughter out to the playground or something. But the reason I mark these is because I need to know that I have to sort out child minding and, you know, like get outfits and stuff all sorted. So I just pop the stars in there just so I can see at a glance what I need. This is kind of the current spread, I suppose, because we are just in the beginning of December. Yes, still haven't fixed this mistake up here, but not too bothered about it. As you can see, November was a pretty busy month for me. A lot of things that required me to leave the house. So conferences, a course that I'm doing, just lots and lots of appointments and things like that. Here we are in December. Today is the 6th of December. So you can see that December is already starting to fill out. It's going to be quite a hectic month for me as well. But that is it for the monthly spreads. I haven't set up January just yet. Then afterwards I set up the to-dos. I know in the original bullet journal the idea is that you're supposed to do kind of the monthly spread over here and then the to-dos over here. To be honest, I just kind of forgot about it. There were 4 pages for the future log when I set it up and 4 months left in the year, so I set them up and then realized I had forgotten to do the to-do things. But as I said in the intro, I use a digital app for that, so these aren't really essential. But what I do is at the beginning of the month I just kind of jot down some general things that I'd like to do that month, usually just reading some books, KonMariing stuff, all that sort of stuff. So that is there. As you can see, it's getting less and less as the months go on. But this is kind of the first proper spread, I guess, first daily spread. So as you can see, I don't really put in too many tasks. There's just one here that kind of came up during the day. And then the other thing you will see is that I use it a lot for kind of journaling and stuff. So I write in just a little key. If you can see that there. Just a little key, because when I was thinking of a diary, I thought of those old diaries that you used to be able to lock with a key, you know, the kids' ones. I just put in a tiny little banner. That's pretty much as decorative as it gets for me. This is my first collection, books to read. I've taken on a challenge. You've probably seen it. I've done a video on it, the 16 before 2016 challenge. And one of the things that I want to do before the end of this year is to finish reading all the books that I currently have. So I stopped adding to this list. So I've read the first 2 here. I'm almost finished this 3rd one and then getting things done. I will be rereading. I've actually already read that book years ago. So I will be rereading that hopefully before the end of the year. Some more kind of journaling day-to-day stuff. AMA questions. I am going to probably start a series on YouTube. AMA Mondays, I'm thinking, because I do get a lot of questions and I'd like to be able to answer them all. So I just started kind of jotting down some questions that I was getting, and I actually have loads more saved on the laptop, so I have to go and fill that in. But this is basically it, a kind of standard spread for me in terms of daily stuff. I will say that the whole idea behind the bullet journal is that you're supposed to be able to write things down very quickly, which is called rapid logging. And a lot of these banners and things don't kind of easily lend themselves to the rapid side of things. So what I do is I actually just write in the day and then just start writing, you know, my journaling stuff or little appointments and stuff, and then I actually go back later and draw these things in. So it could be kind of after I finish the entry, or it could be a week or 2 down the line, I'll go back and fill in those. So you can see that here it's pretty obvious that I had actually just written everything and then gone back and filled in the banner, which had to go over the writing. But that is the way that I do it. Here I did put in some tasks. This had been a particularly busy week for me and I wasn't feeling all that great. So by the time Saturday rolled around, I had a really long to-do list and I was feeling quite overwhelmed. So I just sat down, decided what were my top 3 priorities for that day, wrote them in here so that they would stand out from the digital to-do app that I have, which was just a mile long. So I popped those in there. Here I started monitoring my weight. I generally don't do that, but I had decided to go on a bit of a health kick, so I thought I would need to kind of measure it or track it in some way. This is my little running man, if you can see that. I'm definitely not an artist or a doodler or anything like that. So a little running man, just to say that I ran for 2 kilometers, took me about 15 minutes, and according to the app that I used, I burned these many calories. The next day I did some exercise as well, just using an app that I have on my phone. So I drew a little girl, she got a little sweatband on and little beads of sweat. But when I initially drew it, I didn't have the sweat beads in it, and it looked like Santa. So I drew in the little sweat beads afterwards. But that is essentially what a spread looks like for me on a day-to-day basis. As you can see, kind of a lot of journaling and doodling and stuff in it. Started then using these, you know, the little emoji, they're like the little confetti cannon things, the confetti cones. I wanted to mark kind of a milestone, which was my first blogiversary. The blog was a year old. So I drew in the little confetti cone, and again here. So that was kind of all I could think of, just to mark that it was kind of a significant happy day. My little girl again, looking terrible. So I had a lot to say here. Again, some journaling stuff, just a birthday here. And then this quote. But one thing I have noticed about myself is that I persevere. I'm very stubborn. I stick with things. So when I saw this quote online somewhere, I can't even remember where, it really kind of resonated with me. So I popped it in here. This took me several hours to do. I drafted it out in pencil first, and then went back over it with a ruler and a pen. But it took me hours and hours to do. But I'm really pleased with how it turned out. More journaling here, a little bit of doodling for Halloween. Terrible, terrible pumpkin. Let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. Terrible pumpkin. And that's essentially it. It goes on like this for pages and pages. This is the 16 before 2016 challenge I was telling you about. Here's the green pen where I went totally wild, incorporated some colour in. These are the 16 things that I want to do before the end of 2016, and I've already done a video on this, so I will link to that below if you're interested in checking it out. More journaling. But that is essentially how I am using my bullet journal so far. Kind of as a keepsake, memory keeping, just jotting down things that happened during the day. I don't jot things down every single day. Sometimes I'll skip a day if nothing overly exciting has happened on that particular day. But generally in the evening, or sometimes a few days later, I'll go back and just kind of fill in some things that happened and do some journaling. And that is basically it. So today, as I said, is the 6th. So this evening I will start in here. But that is everything. So that is my bullet journal. Thumbs up if you like the kind of minimalist approach I've taken with it. But it's working really well so far for me, and I love having a record of my life. So to me it's become almost like a keepsake. Preserving memories has become really important to me, especially now that I have a daughter. But I could never keep up with scrapbooking or those diaries that have a set amount of space that you can write in. So the simplicity and the flexibility of the bullet journal really, really appeals to me and is really working really well for me. I do plan on making some tweaks and changes, as I said. Just kind of trying out new things, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. So I will eventually have an updated flip through for you at some point in the future. So subscribe if you don't want to miss out on that. If you have any questions at all about this bullet journal, please leave them in the comments below. And as I said, I will be making some changes. So I'll be looking for inspiration. So if you use a bullet journal, and if you've got a blog post or a video about it, please link them in the comments below so that I can check those out. But that is it for the bullet journal. Next week, I am hoping that I will have the final category of the KonMari method for you, which is mementos. I am so excited about that. Honestly, all kinds of giddy in my head. I'm just like, woohoo! Really excited about that. So subscribe and you will see that. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.